There are moments when our minds feel like a river in the middle of a storm. Restless currents, swirling eddies, and leaves spinning endlessly on the surface. We often believe that the more we think, the better prepared we'll be for whatever life throws at us. We tell ourselves that if we analyze every detail, explore every possibility, and prepare for every what if, we'll avoid disappointment and pain. But what we rarely notice is that, in this constant effort to predict and control, we slowly drain our own energy. Mental fatigue creeps in. Quiet anxiety takes root. It's like carrying an invisible weight that clings to us no matter where we go. Overthinking pulls us into two directions: the past, with its mistakes, regrets, and nostalgia, and the future, with its uncertainty and imagined fears. And while we wander through these places, one that no longer exists and one that hasn't yet arrived, we drift away from the only moment that's real, right now. Buddhist wisdom doesn't teach us to empty the mind the way some people imagine. Instead, it invites us to create space within it. It's not about ignoring emotions, but about meeting them with clarity without being swallowed by them. Inside that space, a series of timeless teachings arise, gentle reminders that can quiet the mind and restore lightness to the heart. Today, we'll walk through 10 practices that can help calm mental storms, return to inner stillness, and live with more awareness. Practice 1. Watch your thoughts as you would watch clouds drift by. Thoughts will always arise, just as the wind will always blow and the heart will always beat. It's the nature of the mind to generate ideas, memories, and worries. The problem is not in thinking, but in attaching ourselves to each thought as if it were an unshakable truth or a command we must obey. Imagine sitting in an open field, gazing at the sky. A cloud appears, that's your thought. You don't need to chase it to see where it's going. You don't need to hold on to it to stop it from leaving. You simply notice it, let it pass, and return your attention to the wide, open sky. That's how relief comes, not from having no thoughts at all, but from no longer clinging to them. Over time, this skill becomes as natural as breathing, and you begin to realize something freeing. You are not your thoughts. You are the space in which they come and go. Practice 2. Simplify your worries. The mind has an odd habit of making everything more complicated than it needs to be. It magnifies minor details, invents future problems, replays awkward moments, and creates entire scenarios that may never happen. Slowly, you start to feel weighed down, as if you were carrying a backpack filled with small stones. The key is to pause and ask yourself, does this truly matter? Or even, will this still matter a month from now? Often the answer is a quiet no. That realization alone can make the weight feel lighter. It's like decluttering a room. You remove what's unnecessary, make space for what's important, and suddenly find yourself breathing more easily. The practice 3. Release the past and stop rehearsing the future. The past can offer lessons, yes, but it was never meant to be your home. The future can be planned for, but never controlled. Yet we spend so much of our lives traveling between the two, leaving the present moment empty. It's like being on a train, passing through breathtaking scenery without even looking out the window, because you're too busy staring at old photographs or maps of places you haven't yet reached. The present is the only space where you can truly live, feel, and make changes. When you anchor yourself here, the fear of tomorrow and the pain of yesterday begin to lose their grip. The now is where you can breathe, rebuild, and begin again. About practice 4. Be grateful for the small things. A mind conditioned by speed and comparison tends to wait for big, dramatic moments before it allows itself to feel joy. But real life reveals itself in the details: the aroma of coffee in the morning, unexpected laughter, the touch of a cool breeze, the peace after a long day. When you start noticing and appreciating these small gifts, something shifts inside. You begin to see abundance where you once saw lack. Gratitude doesn't demand perfection. It thrives in imperfection because it teaches you to value what's here, now, even when life is far from flawless. The practice 5. Speak to yourself with compassion. If the way we speak to ourselves could be played out loud, many of us would be shocked by how harsh and impatient we are with our own souls. We talk to ourselves as if we are always behind, as if we are never enough. But healing begins when you change the tone of that inner conversation. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" try asking, "What do I need right now?" That small shift changes everything. Accepting that you are human, imperfect, and always learning opens the door to genuine self-care. And here's the quiet truth: the kinder you are to yourself, the kinder you become to others. Practice 6. Accept what you cannot control. Much of our emotional exhaustion comes from trying to control everything: people, outcomes, timing. But there's an immense relief in recognizing that some things simply do not belong to you. Acceptance isn't about giving up. It's about focusing your energy on what you can influence: your actions, your choices, your response. The rest belongs to life's natural flow. Letting go of the need to control every detail opens the door to a peace you may not have felt in years. Practice 7. Return to the present, again and again. Training the mind to stay in the present is like strengthening a muscle. It takes repetition. You can anchor yourself with a simple ritual: one slow, conscious breath, noticing the feeling of your feet touching the ground, truly listening to the sounds around you. Each time you return, you'll notice something powerful. The present doesn't have to be extraordinary to be valuable. It just has to be lived. As the journey of this message continues, I want you to pause for a moment and feel the weight of each word that has been spoken so far. Life has a way of rushing us forward, pulling us into the next task, the next obligation, the next concern. But here, right now, you are invited to slow down. Imagine that you are sitting in a quiet place, where the air feels softer, where the noise of the world is muted, and where you can hear the gentle rhythm of your own breath. This moment is not about rushing toward an answer, but about allowing the answer to rise gently from within you. You have carried so much, the kind of weight that doesn't always show on your face, but that your heart knows very well. And yet, even in this weight, there has been strength. Even in the unanswered questions, there has been growth. In this chapter of your journey, I want you to picture something: a light in the distance. It's not blinding, it's not overwhelming, it's steady, constant, and warm. It's the kind of light that invites you forward, not because you have to run toward it, but because you feel drawn to it. That light represents every promise that has been whispered over your life, every possibility that has been planted in your spirit, and every hope that has refused to die, even in your most difficult days. You are walking toward that light right now, whether you see it or not. And every step you take, no matter how small, matters deeply. There is a reason your heart has not given up. There is a reason you keep showing up, even when you feel unseen. Life has been weaving something inside of you, a patience, a resilience, a clarity that you might not fully recognize yet. And while the waiting has been long and the road uneven, there is an unseen hand guiding every turn. Some days it might feel like nothing is happening, but that's the very moment when the deepest roots are growing. Seeds don't sprout in the sunlight alone. They grow in the darkness, beneath the surface, before anyone can see them. And so have you. There is also something important to remember. Your story is not defined by the moments that broke you, but by the ways you rose again. And perhaps this is the season when you will not only rise, but rise differently, stronger, steadier, and more certain of who you are. Every trial, every detour, every unanswered prayer has been shaping you for something greater than you imagined. This is not the end of your story. It's not even the middle. This is simply one chapter, and it's leading you towards something far more beautiful than what you've left behind. So let this moment be a reminder that hope is not foolish. It is the anchor that keeps you steady when the winds of life try to pull you off course. And perhaps without even knowing it, you have been a source of hope for someone else. Someone has watched you continue, even when you had every reason to stop, and they've found strength because of it. You might never know the full impact of your perseverance, but it matters more than you realize. Now I want to speak to your heart in a personal way. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. The fact that you are here, listening to these words, is not random. Sometimes the right words find us at the right time, not because we were searching for them, but because they were sent to us. And these words are sent to you now, to remind you that you are still on the path toward everything you've been promised. I know the road hasn't been easy. I know there have been nights when you didn't have the answers, days when you felt you were walking in circles, moments when you wondered if you'd missed your chance. But hear me when I say, nothing that is truly meant for you can be taken from you. The timing may not look like you expected, but the unfolding is happening exactly as it needs to. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be, even if it doesn't look like it yet. And perhaps this is also the season to let go of the need to control every step, to trust that the same force that placed the stars in the sky and set the ocean in motion is also holding your life with care. You don't need to see the entire map to know you're headed in the right direction. All you need is the next step and the courage to take it. As you hold on to that thought, I want to leave you with something special. This is more than a simple video you're watching. It's a shared space, a moment of connection between you and me, even if we've never met. And because we've shared this moment, I'd like to invite you into something deeper. Not in the usual way where someone says, click here, subscribe now, and then moves on. No, this is different. I'm asking you to subscribe not because of numbers or algorithms, but because I believe that there is more here for you. More moments like this, more reminders that you're not walking alone. If these words have stirred something in your heart, if you've felt even a flicker of hope rise within you while listening, then I invite you to stay connected. And while you're here, I'd love for you to interact in a way that feels meaningful. In the comments, share something from your heart, maybe a dream you're holding on to, a challenge you're walking through, or even just a simple word that sums up where you are right now. Not because I need to see it, but because there's power in speaking it. Sometimes when we put our hopes or struggles into words, they gain new life. And who knows, someone else might read your words and find the exact encouragement they needed. So if this space has felt like a safe place for your heart today, let's keep walking together. Subscribe if it feels right. Share your heart in the comments if you feel led, and know that every word you write matters here. This is not just a channel, it's a circle of people who believe in lifting each other up, and I'm grateful you're part of it. And now, as we step into the final part of this journey together, I want you to pause for a moment and just breathe. Take in everything we've shared so far, all the images, the emotions, and the truths that have resonated with you. You've made it this far because something deep inside you is longing for change. Not the kind of change that happens in an instant, but the kind that grows quietly, like the first light of dawn slowly painting the sky. Sometimes life feels like a series of closed doors. You knock and nothing happens. You wait and the silence feels heavy. But here's the truth. Some doors are not meant to open yet, because what's behind them is still being prepared for you. Your moment is not late and it is not lost. It is simply unfolding at its own pace. Think of the people who inspire you, not because their lives were perfect, but because they carried on even when no one believed in them. They planted seeds in the dark, trusting that one day the roots would push through the soil. That's you right now. Even if you don't see the results yet, even if the ground looks still, something is moving beneath the surface. I want you to remember that you have already survived more than you give yourself credit for. The storms you've walked through didn't break you, they shaped you. And what you're carrying today, your dreams, your fears, your hopes, they are not too heavy for you. You are stronger than the voice in your head that tells you otherwise. Now imagine for a moment that the future is leaning toward you, waiting to meet you halfway. You don't have to run to catch it. You just have to keep walking. Every small step counts. Every moment you choose to believe again counts. You are not falling behind. You are on your own unique path. And as we bring this journey to a close, I want to thank you, truly, for giving your time, your heart, and your attention to these words. I don't take that lightly. You could have been anywhere else, doing anything else, but you chose to be here. That means something. If this message has spoken to you in even the smallest way, I invite you, warmly and without pressure, to stay connected. Subscribe to this channel, not just as a follower, but as part of a space where your presence matters. This is not just about videos. It's about creating a place where voices like yours are heard, where we can walk through the struggles and the victories together. So, if you feel it in your heart, hit that subscribe button, not as a habit, but as a promise to yourself that you will keep seeking moments like this, reminders like this, and connections like this. And when you do, know that you're joining something built on more than algorithms and numbers. You're joining something built on people, stories, and hope. Until we meet again, carry this truth with you. You are already enough, exactly as you are, and the story you're living is worth every chapter.